Good evening. This is the Change, and tonight we're talking about education and the lack thereof in today's America, today's United States. I guess it depends on your social status, maybe what your take on the American public schools situation is like. I imagine if you're in a area where they pay higher taxes, probably you might be satisfied with the way things look and the way things are shaping up. But you haven't done your research if you think all schools are going well, because they're not. And of course, the low income communities, they bear a lot of that brunt. They get low quality educators with no plan, man. The goal for people should not be to go to college. I'm not saying don't go to college. I'm saying that shouldn't be the goal for your child. You should want your child to be successful in whatever path they choose. Some kids, it makes no sense to send them to college, even if you can afford it, which most people cannot. Tuition is 60 grand, roughly. Anybody got that laying around handy? I mean, that's a chunk of change. We all know it. What, you want to get some student loans, some grants? Want to get all that? Leave with leave with that on your psyche? Owing 60 grand to the government? Yeah. I wouldn't want to go owe the government $5, much less 50 grand. But there are other routes a person can take besides college. There's there used to be in schools, it's long gone from my city's local high school. They used to have wood shop and home economics, and they used to have something called JDC, not juvenile detention center. They got that at the high school, but they got that in my city. Of course they do. But JDC was the job development center. They used to teach you a trade, man. They used to teach roofing, carpentry, auto mechanics, welding, siding, trim work, concrete. If you're a concrete finisher right now, I can get you a job finishing concrete, making about $30 an hour. That's finishing concrete. There's harder jobs. There's way easier jobs than that. Finishing concrete, it ain't for a brittle person, man or woman. It's just not. You gotta have a little bit of steel in ya to finish concrete. You have to let it build you, because you'll get in good shape doing it. You'll have big giant forearms, rough hands, red on the back of your neck from the sun. But it'll break you. So it's hard work. It's hard work. But that's just what I did. It's what I can do if I'm so inclined to do so. But the point is, you don't have to go to college to make money. You can start a business. They don't teach they don't teach you how to balance a checkbook in school. Why not? Why not? They don't teach you how to fill out your W-2s. Why not? They also don't push parenting classes, how to raise a kid, how to cook and clean for a kid. I'm all about everybody having kids. We are on a decline with the population. No matter what anybody tells you, I've never lied to you and I'll never lie to you. We are on it's scary kind of numbers of the population decline. People just aren't having as many kids as they used to. Testosterone's down, female fertility, male fertility. All the numbers are just insane. And they don't know exactly why it is. Probably has something to do with the water. Our awesome water. Yeah, it's good stuff. Hey, you want a plastic bottle of water? Yeah. Seems like our options are a little slim in the old H2O department. We need old Bobby Boucher. But there are people who know that the school systems suck. They suck, especially in low income communities. It's like they just send crappy teachers there that don't care about the students. Then the students hate school. The teachers hate being there because half of them hate kids. The teacher that hates kids. I always liked my teachers that were like sarcastic, and because I'm a sarcastic guy, so I get good humor. But you got to have a IQ above 40 to even understand me when I talk. So congratulate yourself if you're listening to my video, because you must be smart. But I liked the kind of snazzy teachers, that would give just as good as I gave. You know what I mean? Those were my favorites. They they'll they forever changed me. They educated me in times they didn't know that they were educating me. I used to know that if I pushed this button, I was going to get this response, so I had to bring my A game. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like when I had the substitutes where I'd give them some of my best primo material. And these teachers would just, give me the old stanky eye. They were just, I knew I was in for a sad day, especially if it was winter and there was no recess or something like that. But I think back on my teachers, and they were good people. And I felt like they cared. I felt like they did. And for the most part, they did. And I'm sure there's caring teachers. That's not at all what I'm saying. My grandmother was a teacher. So I have a vested interest in the field. So I'm not spitting on teachers, not in the slightest. But when you keep your nose in these articles and videos and commentary and all that jazz, you start to see these trends. And these trends, they don't go in the good direction. You know what I mean? And I think about the next generation a lot. I don't have any kids, but I have family that has kids. So I have a lot of love for the next generation. I try to teach them all I can. all I can. Any chance I get to give them a little tutoring, I do. And I am scared with what we have to offer with educators. These charter schools, I don't know if you've heard about the charter schools, but what they do, I think it's an awesome plan. And everywhere they are, everywhere they pop up, they work wonders. What they do is each student, it doesn't go to like your public school has 100 students. We give 10 grand for every student you have. No, there's an allotted 10 grand per student. So if little Timmy, his parents want to take him out of this school and send him to the charter school, that 10 grand goes with little Timmy. So school X loses that 10 grand. And he goes over here to the charter school. And if his grades go up and his test scores go up, of course the parents are going to keep him and his 10 grand at that charter school. But all these unions don't like it. They don't like that. They don't like the parents having any control over what's going on with education. During the pandemics, the pandemic, I don't know, were there multiple? Maybe. But during the pandemic, after the pandemic was over, classes were back in session and the teachers' unions were holding out. Like, and those teachers' unions are mass. They're more hardcore than the Teamsters. If you want to know where Jimmy Hoffa's buried, ask the local teachers' union rep. She probably knows. He probably knows. They probably know. It probably knows. You get my joke. But unless we start making changes with the education system, less and less kids are going to complete school. It's just the bottom line. If you have a teacher that doesn't care about you, a kid's going to know it, and they're not going to finish school. But I know a dude who cares about what's going on in America. He's a congressman. Byron Donalds, BD, big BD. I pretty much like 95% of what he has to say, so keep an eye out for the dude. Seems like a good-hearted dude. Younger guy, New Yorker. Good dude, though. But he was on Fox, so I'll share uh his little spot on Fox. Uh if I can finagle the computer.
Republicans for a long time, myself included, have said we have to have more avenues for children to find academic success because the number one pathway for economic success is academic success. What has been the Democrat plan? Has it been massive opportunities for schools? No, it has not. That's the Republican plan. Let's talk healthcare. If healthcare costs are going to be the number one driver of what moves people into poverty or keeps them in poverty, what has the Democrat plan actually done? It's increased premiums. It's increased the cost of the deductibles year over year, not made them cheaper. Our plan is to make them cheaper. You want to talk about our broad economy? We believe in entrepreneurship. We believe in apprenticeships. We want to give children many different opportunities of success, not just sending them to a four-year college where they pay $60,000 for a communications degree and then scratch our head when they're in debt with a degree that doesn't help them earn a living. These are all Republican solutions to help change the generational poverty crisis. Republican.
See what he was saying there? He was talking about entrepreneurship, apprenticeships, and so on and etc. You know what I mean? You need options. You don't want go to school, Timmy. You got to go to college, Timmy, so you can get a good job, Timmy. Where? Where are you going to get a good job at? California? You can go out there and build climate change something or other. Is that what you want to do? Is that what you think you're going to do with a college degree? I mean, if a kid is a honor student and wakes up and guy, girl, whatever, takes a shower, gets all pretty, looking fly, loves school to death, wears a Letterman jacket, gets straight A's, all their teachers love them. Like if you're a kid that loves school, just continue to go to school. That's not my point. My point is they need different things for different people. I couldn't stand school. Couldn't stand it. Once I got to 8th grade-ish, I went to school to play sports. That's the only reason I went to school. I wasn't learning much. I promise you. The math got harder and harder and harder and harder. Why? I don't know. I mean, I do use geometry and algebra, building houses, doing concrete, little things like that. But you don't need that super knowledge in mathematics. You do not use calculus. Not in normal everyday human life. Now, if you want to be a bionuclear physicist or something like that, maybe uh, some schooling is in order. But people who want to do that are rare. They are the outliers. But what you do not want to do is send your kid to college or tell your kid to go to college because you think that's going to give them a leg up in society when it's going to start them with a chopped off leg. That much debt. The debt is the problem. The debt, college is just a racket. When the government started handing out grants for college, then the colleges started raising tuitions. You see how that works? Back in the day, you could get a 4-year degree for 10 grand. But the second the FAFSA loans or grants were signed off on, then these colleges raised the tuition to astronomical prices. So it's evil. More evil. What's new? You know. But options. If you're still in high school, try to find a passion. Try to find something that you want to do, something that makes you happy. It'll make your life a lot easier. It will. But do not go to college to make someone else happy. If your desire is to get a degree, if you've had that dream your whole life, by all means, go to college. Dreams are just action waiting to happen. Just action waiting to happen. But I will leave it there. This has been the Change, and I am forever the student teacher. Thank you.